Listen, we've all heard the term that you are what you eat, and that's certainly true. And in today's video, since we are absolutely what we eat, I want to show you all today how to eat aggressively and abundantly. And I want to show you how to eat so aggressively and abundantly until you can feed your family's fortunes. So today, that's what we're going to learn: how to eat aggressively, how to eat abundantly, excuse me, how to feed your family fortunes. And so the first thing I want to talk about is this idea. That's the idea of we are what we eat. The question is who's feeding us? And there are only two chefs in the whole world. All right. So either God is feeding us, or good morning, Nidra. How are you? Good morning, Derek. Either God is feeding us or the devil is feeding us. Yeah, it's only two chefs in the world. Okay. So somebody's cooking your food. Somebody's cooking my food. Somebody's cooking your food. So I'm excited today about the idea of eating aggressively. I'm so excited until I'm celebrating my new book is here, Humble Aggression. It's actually out right now. You can order it right now, and you can be reading it in no time. All right. So if you trying to figure out how to get it, just put the word humble in the chat, and we'll send you the link. And I'm gonna teach you how to eat aggressively. This is my book. You've never seen a book like this before. All right. And the reason I wrote it is because I'm looking at people and I'm like, you should have way more than you got. I'm like, you should be living a life that's 100% different from the life you live in. And you can humble yourself and live this life. All right. But this is a very aggressive life. The life of a man and a woman of God, a real life, is amazingly aggressive and is wonderfully humble at the same time. You say, so how do you do all that, Brother Ricky? Well, that's why I wrote the book. It's called Humble Aggression. If you just put humble in the chat, you can get it. Okay. You can be one of the first people to read it. It's out now. Uh, all the copies are out. If you order it, you'll be reading it within a few days. Okay. So the reason I'm interested in you all having an aggressive attitude is because aggression is God's character. If you're not aggressive, you do not possess the character of God. You say, Brother Ricky, I want to be aggressive. Okay, good. That's why I'm talking to you today. And in order for you to have the aggression of God, you have got to be a humble individual. So being a humble individual will propel you into eating aggressively. I mean, you'll be eating abundantly and you'll be able to feed your family abundantly too. But you got to pick the right chef. All right. So let's go to the book of Genesis and let's see what kind of chef God is in the book of Genesis. Good morning, Dr. Mary. How you doing, dear? Tell the kids in the office I said, God bless them, and I love them too. All right. So let's look at it. Good morning, Janet. How you doing, dear? So let's look at this is God in talking to Adam and Eve, or talking to Adam when he first creates Adam and in the garden, and he says, and the Lord took the man. This is chapter 2 of Genesis, and he ain't made Eve yet. He's just talking to Adam right now. He said, and the Lord took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. All right, so let's just stop right there. He said, of every tree in the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. So God said, here I am. He said, I'm a chef and I'm cooking up abundance. That's what I love about God. Every time God, all of his meals are abundant meals. I mean, it's just big, it's just a lot, and it's juicy and it's good. Are you hearing me? So I get excited when I think about eating, and today I want to teach you all how to get an appetite. But I want to show you how to have an appetite for God, because the bottom line is it's hard to eat God's food when you've been eating junk food. So it's two chefs, right? Two chefs show up in the garden. Here is God, the abundant chef, and then here's the devil. He's the petty chef. God is telling Adam and Eve, eat abundantly. He said, eat from every tree that's abundant. All right. He said, except that little tree over, don't eat that junk food over there. You say, why was that a junk food tree? Because it wasn't worth eating. He said, but he said, if you eat that junk food, you're going to die. Just like the way we are today, the way we are as individuals today. When you get an appetite, you hate to, you know how it is, you're getting ready to eat a really good meal. And the last thing in the world you want to do is go eat some junk food. And then it curbs your appetite. All right. So you don't want to curb your appetite. No appetite curbing. All right. So NAC, put it in the chat. NAC. I'm telling you why you don't have much. If you don't have much, it's because you don't have much of an appetite. NAC. All right. No appetite curbing. All right. Put it in the chat. Teach your children this. Let them know. What we're not going to have around here is a whole lot of petty stuff and a whole lot of, you know how your parents are. You ready to cook a meal and stuff, and you tell the kids, hey, don't spoil your appetite. Come to the table. I made this food. My expectation of you is to dive on in and get down. You know, maybe even get 2 plates. But it's hard to eat when you curved your appetite because you've been eating some junk. That's why I don't mess around with the media and stuff. That's why I don't listen to a whole lot of foolishness. That's why what? Because I don't want it curving my appetite. Are you hearing me? Think of, because God had told me to be a very rich man. He told me to be a very healthy man. He said, be real healthy and be real rich and feed your family too. He said, but you got to see, because you're going to feed your family whatever it is that you eat. That's why when Eve started eating that junk food, and God told her don't eat, that's why she fed Adam some of that junk food. But the problem with Adam is that he hadn't already fed Eve enough. Why? So that she would even want no junk food. You say, how do you know that, Brother Ricky? Well, because the reason that people eat junk food is because they haven't eaten a good meal. When you eat a good meal, you don't even want no junk food. Why? Because junk food, it gives you indigestion. It messes your stomach up. Give you the bubble guts. I hear what I'm talking about? Make it hard to go to the bathroom. Are you hearing me? Stymies your progress. Make you sick. Put a whole bunch of inflammation inside of your body. Now you hearing me? Make you lethargic. You know what I'm talking about? And slow and a lack of vigoration. But when you eat good food that's easy to digest, I mean, man, you ready to make it rain like a hurricane. The same thing about some regular food is the same thing about the way that we eat words, the way that we eat, the diet that we have. And I'm telling you right now today that we are all what we eat. So what I love about God is that God offers really good food. I mean, he's a master chef. All right, everybody put MC in the chat because God is a master chef and he is my master chef. Are you hearing me? I don't know about you, but I love God's food. I love God's food. It's so healthy. Are you hearing me? It literally gives you eternal life. That's how healthy it is. It makes you an amazing individual. All right, Tom, I'm talking about dominate. You get ready to do something. You got the courage to do it. You got the mindset to do it. You got the ability to be able to do it. Can't nobody stop you from it. Why? Because you're eating God's food. So when God said here in the 2nd chapter of Genesis, when he says to the man, he said, freely eat. All right, everybody put FE in the chat. Come on. Everybody put FE in the chat. I don't know about you, but man, the table is spread, y'all. Are you hearing me? The table is spread. Put FE in that chat. Freely eat. Can't nobody stop us from eating God's food. He said, freely eat. He said, go down and stuff yourself. Are you hearing me? That's why if I was you, I would eat the word of God. Man, it tastes so good. Are you hearing me? It produces so much abundance. Freely eat. So he told me, he said, freely eat of every tree. Now listen, they're in a garden, right? And God say, freely eat of every tree. Now, God had already created every tree known to man in 6 days. See, y'all sleeping on God. All right. Y'all just don't know how abundant God is, just how spectacularly abundant God is, and how his creation is so complete. You hear what I'm talking about? He has a complete creation. So everybody just put CC in the chat. You don't need to go no place to get nothing to eat. Why? Because we already complete. Are you hearing me? You don't need to go nowhere else and eat because what? We already complete. Let me run it by you one more time. You don't need to go nowhere else to eat. We already complete. He had already completed all of the trees in 6 days. So you say, how many trees are there, Brother Ricky? Well, known to man, There are 73,300 trees. All right, everybody put 73K in the chat. God had already made 73,000 trees. All right, known to man. Okay, it may be more, but as far as we know, we've discovered 73,000 trees, and they was all in the garden. How do you know? Because God created everything in 6 days. You say that must have been a large garden. It's a small garden to God. All right. Ain't no big deal to God. Did you hear me? 73,000 trees ain't nothing to God. He just spoke those into existence. Now you listen to what I'm talking about? He just said, and it was so. He just said it and it was so. And he just said it what and it was so. And then God said what? And it's good. All right. He says, so I'm going to give you what? Good food. Everybody put GF in the chat. God don't make nothing but good food. All this food is good. He said, everything that I'm telling you to eat is good for you. Just don't eat that one tree because that's some junk food. All right. Just don't go over there and eat that one tree. Why? Because that's the tree of humanism. That one tree, that's the tree of doubt. That's the tree of what? Trepidation. That's the tree of what? It's the tree of trying God. It's the tree of what? The tree of disobedience. He said, just don't go eat that junk. But you can freely eat everything over here. I don't know what's that. Something didn't. Okay, so it's 73,000 trees. So let's just look at some trees right quick. All right, guy, let's just look at some trees right quick. I looked up some trees, and let's just go through the alphabet right quick. This is what God said. He said, go ahead and eat from these fruit trees. He said, every tree in the garden, all right? He said, you can eat from the apple tree. You can eat from the banana tree. You can eat from a cherry tree. You can eat from a date palm tree. How about an elderberry? Y'all know how good elderberry is? Do y'all know how good elderberry is for you? He said you can have an elderberry tree. He said you can eat from over there. He said you can definitely eat some figs. Talking about a fig Newton. He said you can eat from the fig tree. Y'all remember how Jesus went through? How figs are good because Jesus wanted some. Y'all remember that? How he was hungry and he was walking through town and he saw a fig tree that didn't have no trees on it. So he cursed the tree and it shriveled up like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. Why? Because he wanted some figs off that tree. So he said that you can have a fig tree. He said you can have a guava tree. I'm just going through the alphabet right quick. I'm just giving you some trees. A guava tree. You can have a hackberry tree. He said, how about an Indian gooseberry tree? Or what about a jackfruit tree? Or how about some kiwi? All right. How about just a straight up lemon tree? What about a mango? How about a nutmeg tree? How about an olive tree? What about a peach tree? He said, how about a quince tree? He said, how about a rambutan tree? What about a sapodilla tree? What about a tamarind tree? What about a gigni tree? What about a velvet apple tree? What about a white sapote tree? What about a Samenia tree? What about a yellow morbid tree? What about a zinctus or a jujube tree? All these trees in the middle of the garden, and all these trees in the garden. I just ran an alphabet by you for just one tree out of each alphabet, but it's 73,000 trees. I'm teaching you today that if you having some problems in your life and you're not living abundant, it's just because of your appetite. That's all. It's just the fact that you eating junk food instead of what? It's only two chefs. God is a chef and the devil is a chef. The devil majors in what? Junk food. God majors in what? Food that brings life, things that make you live. He said, listen, just don't eat from that one tree because that's a junk food tree. He said, you don't want to mess around with that. Eat over here. All right. Everybody put in the chat. Eat over here. Come on. I want y'all to eat over here. That's why I teach y'all so much, because I'm just teaching y'all what to eat. Eat over here, baby. All right. When you come online and everybody got all this foolishness online and all this stuff to make you depressed and all this nonsense and they ain't talking about nothing, don't eat over there. Eat over here. Eat someplace where the words that the person is speaking, that they came from out the scriptures. You say, Brother Ricky, it's Monday. You're talking about the Bible 7 days a week, baby. 7 days a week. I eat the Bible 7 days a week. What? You got problems every day. All right. Stop being so religious and thinking what? You're gonna wake up on a Sunday and you're gonna eat some words for an hour, and then you're gonna go out back out here in these streets and eat junk all week. And no wonder you got the bubble guts. No wonder what? You can't feed your family. Why? Because you're going to feed somebody what it is that you eat. And if you got a negative family, negative kids, bad attitudes, low money, change is strange, can't put cheese on a Whopper, everybody fat and overweight, everybody slow, bad attitudes and all that, that's because of what you eat. Okay? Because you're going to feed what it is that you eat. If you follow somebody home, somebody just like them open up the door. Are you hearing me? If you follow a obese child home, somebody obese is going to open up the door. If you follow a lazy person home, somebody lazy going to open up the door. If you follow an indifferent person home, somebody indifferent is going to open up the door. The fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, and you can tell whether a person been eating from God's trees or whether somebody been eating junk food. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I want to encourage you today to stop eating this junk food. Are you hearing me? I'm very particular about what goes into my brain, and I'm becoming more particular about what goes into my body. All right. Why? Because I don't want no junk food. I want to do what? I want to live as long as I can possibly live a high quality life. And that's what God wants for you. And that's what Brother Ricky wants for you too. All right. So let me read you some of these junk, some of this junk that people eat. Okay. A, now give me some of that apple pie. B, give me some of them brownies. C, give me some of that candy. D, give me some donuts. E, give me some eclairs. 5, give me some French fries. G, give me some gummy bears. H, give me some hot dogs. I, give me some ice cream. J, give me some jelly beans. K, give me some Krispy Kreme donuts. L, give me some licorice. M, give me some milkshakes. N, give me some nachos. O, give me some onion rings. P, give me some potato chips. Q, give me some queso dip with chips. R, give me some red velvet cake. S, give me some soda. T, give me some Twinkies. U, give me some upside down cake. V, give me some vanilla wafers. W, give me some waffles with syrup. X, give me some extra cheese pizza. Y, give me some yodels. And Z, give me some zebra cakes. And you wondering, and I'm wondering, why what? Why our spiritual stomach got the bubble guts, and we wonder why our physical stomach got the bubble guts. Your body wasn't meant for that stuff. Are you hearing me? And your brain ain't meant for that stuff. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? It don't make no sense to be voluntarily sick. Everybody put not voluntarily sick. Everybody put NVS in the chat. Not voluntarily sick. Are you hearing me? NVS. Not voluntarily sick. Good morning, Shantice. How you doing, baby? Look, let's fight this stuff off, you all. All right. Today I'm talking about eating aggressively and abundantly. And I'm talking about spiritually and physically, the way that we eat spiritually and the way that we eat physically. And that we have a choice in this matter. We don't have to sit down and kill ourselves and die before our time. Are you listening to me? We got to take better care of ourselves. Are you hearing me? And what? The reason that people money is funny and change is strange is because we eating junk. And then you take that junk and you feed that junk to your kids. And then the kids, what? They are spiritually obese, overweight. Are you hearing me? Physically obese, overweight, unenergetic, ain't got no energy, bad attitudes, start coming at one another. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So let's look at what happened with the devil when he rose up on Eve, because God gave us an abundant commandment in the garden. He said, you got 73,000 trees to eat from. Come on, 73,000 trees to eat from, and you can eat up. And the reason I'm upset with Adam is because if Adam had been feeding Eve the way he should have been feeding Eve, he could have stuffed her so that she wouldn't even have the time or the inclination to be wanting to sit down and eat some junk food. Because the devil, he can only feed you what? Junk food. The devil ain't got no real food. He's a bad chef. All right. He can't cook the way God cooked. All he can feed you is junk food. So he has to see that you have the propensity that you leaning towards what? Want to eat some junk food. And that's the only way he can introduce it to you. Why? Because he's not going to introduce you to something that you ain't got no appetite for. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So men that's listening to me, it's your job to feed your wife. You say, what are you talking about, Brother Ricky? It's your job to feed your wife the word of God. That's your job. It's not the job of no preacher to be feeding your wife. That's just some little extra stuff she get when she get outside of the crib. You as a man, the way that you feed your wife, it's like giving your wife a bath. You say, how you give your wife a bath? You wash her in the word. So when you wash her in the word, then she doesn't have the propensity to wander off and start eating some junk food the way that Eve did, because your wife is your helpmeet and you are her leader. Are you hearing me, brother? And you got an obligation to teach this woman. You said, Brother Ricky, that's too much. She on her own. No, she is not on her own. Y'all the same person. Y'all just in two different bodies. Now you hearing me? And your job as a brother is you got to know the word of God. You like, I got to know. Yes, you do. Why? Because how in the world you going to feed somebody what you're not eating? Are you hearing what I'm talking about? When God told Adam to eat, he expected Adam to feed too. Okay, Adam, eat from every tree and feed your wife. All right. They got 73,000 trees to eat from. Why in the world y'all want to mess around, go over there and eat that little junk food? That's because y'all ain't eating from the trees that I told you to freely eat from. Did you hear what I'm talking about? That's why I'm teaching you all today. What? Practice your freedom, all right? PYF, everybody put in the chat. Practice your freedom. Y'all free. Y'all, look, you the king's kids, okay? You are free. You are free to eat whatever God gave you to eat. There are no constraints on you. Don't lock yourself up. I hear what I'm talking about? And I'm especially talking to my brothers because why? It's our privilege to be able to feed our woman. I hear what I'm talking about? Your woman need to be fed, bro, not by no little bootleg preacher. That's why she down there eating that junk food. Why? Because you ain't feeding her. If you was feeding your woman the way you're supposed to be feeding her, she wouldn't be down there eating that junk food. Why? Because women love to eat what? They love to eat some junk if won't nobody feed them something better. Why you think Eve sitting over here posted up looking at that one little tree ready to eat that junk food? Why? It's because her last name is Eve. Her first name is naive. You dig what I'm talking about? Brother, you're not as naive as your wife is because you're not built that way. You hear what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about women are slow or women ain't got good sense. I'm talking about the way that this marriage thing is set up, the way that life is set up, is God made you a leader. Why? Because he knows that you are not as vulnerable to things as your wife is. But if you don't feed your wife, she's gonna go someplace and eat some junk food. Are you hearing me? And then what? Your whole house gonna end up having what? Junk food, because the woman is the one that prepared the meals for the crib. Are you hearing me? And if she go get some junk food, she's gonna bring that junk back in and kill everybody. Are you digging what I'm talking about? So you got to feed your wife so your wife can feed your kids. You say, what's the problem with that, Brother Ricky? Well, you think about Adam and Eve. Okay. So Adam ain't feeding his wife. Are you listening what I'm talking about? He ain't feeding his wife. He ain't out with his woman. He ain't feeding her. They should be someplace eating from all these trees because that's what they got. All right. They should be eating, get with a good appetite because they got all these delicious trees. I just got through naming a bunch of them to you. They got 73,000 choices at least. All right. Inside of this garden. And here they are, they ignoring all of their choices. All right. Don't ignore, don't ignore your good provision. Because God, this good food that God gave you, this word that I'm teaching you today, this good food that God gave you, it's your provision and it's your protection. You hear what I'm talking about? So don't ignore your provision. Okay. So PI put it in the chat. No PI, no provision ignoring. All right. You got to ignore God in order to eat junk. Because what? God is so awesome and he's so plentiful and he's so abundant and he's so loving and he's so kind and he's so concerned about what it is that we eat until he provides what? Really good food for us. He's an amazing chef. That's why you should learn the Bible. Now, you hear what I'm talking about? The reason that you got the issues that you got is because you don't know the Bible. When you don't know the Bible, you got trouble. Are you listening to me? Why? Because you're eating a bunch of junk and you behave what? The way that you eat. And if Adam spent more time feeding his wife, she wouldn't have been so prone to be what? Sitting over here staring at this junk because she would have been full from the trees they were eating. That's what the commandment was. The commandments was what? Get to eating. All right. Because what you are what you eat. We all, every last one of us, we behave the way that we eat. And you cannot behave any differently from what you eat. I don't care how you try. Are you hearing me? Whatever's coming out your mouth is from the food that went into your belly. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So I'm very particular about what goes into my belly because I know what's going into my belly got to come out my mouth. Did you hear what I'm talking about? Are you hearing what I'm saying? So that's why I read the Bible so much. But that's why I study it so much. So I can feed everybody around me and my family that I love and I'm concerned about. Why? So they won't be walking around the victims of junk food and they for sure enough ain't gonna bring their junk food back and start feeding it to me. Why? Because I know the difference between junk food and what God's meal. I know the difference between whether God prepared a meal and whether the devil prepared it. Are you hearing me? And the devil does what? He takes God's good meals and then he does what? He brings a bunch of conjecture into the situation, which is why Eve ended up eating this junk in the first place. Why? Because she wasn't eating God's word. It was just available. Are you hear what I'm talking about? It was just in the garden, but she wasn't eating it. Are y'all listening to me? Are you hear what I'm talking about? You have food available to you. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Everybody put FA in the chat. You got food available to you. All right. I just want y'all to know Matter of fact, everybody put AFA. You got abundant food available. That's why I eat the Bibles. That's why I eat the word so much. Man, abundant food is available. Are you listening to me? I don't want to live no little raggedy life. I don't want you living a little God don't want you living a little raggedy life. Are you listening to me? So God is concerned about you having the best of everything. I mean, that's his expectation because he is the best. And he's like, the only reason you ain't got the best is because you ain't eating the best. You look like what you've been eating. Are you hearing me? And if you ain't eating, and men, you got to feed your woman. Are you hearing me? That's your privilege to be able to feed your wife. Are you hearing me? And sisters, you got to let a man feed you. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? You say, man, I don't need no man feed me. I'm my own man. You ain't your own man. That's some witchcraft. You're a woman. You ain't no dude. Are you hear what I'm talking about? You ain't your own man. You are a sister, and let a man feed you. But let your man feed you. All right. Marry a dude who is what? A chef. Are you listening to me? Marry a guy that's a chef, knowing that what? This man is going to feed me. He's going to feed me the word of God because we already had conversations before we got married. I know this guy's worth marrying because he's a chef. What? And he gets his food from God, and then he feeds me with the food that he got from God. What? To help me so I won't be so idle running down the street, what? Eating some junk food. Are you hearing me? Because a lot of these preachers, they don't preach nothing but junk food. I hear what I'm talking about, and they soothe your spirit and stroke you and make you feel good, and then bring all that mess. All it does is bring a whole bunch of nonsense into your house. Are you hearing me? By the time you get back to the crib, you bring that junk food back to the crib, and now you got trouble in the house. Because the man ain't supposed to be in the house eating junk food and a woman fed him. The man is supposed to be in the crib feeding his woman what? Abundant food straight from God, so that her appetite is so good that she don't even want to go eat the junk. But that's not what you see in practice today. What you see in practice today is men who don't have no leadership in their crib. Why? Because they don't know the Bible. It's impossible to lead a crib when you don't know the Bible. It's impossible. Why? Because you don't know how to lead. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You don't know what kind of food to feed somebody. So when you start feeding somebody some foolishness, you got a whole bunch of drama inside your crib. So brothers, learn the Bible. Learn the Bible, man. I'm talking to everybody, but I'm talking about protocol. Brothers, learn the Bible so you can feed your woman so she don't be down the street. Uh, first name, not last name Eve. All right. So here's some things to feed, and here's some good food to eat in Colossians, and here's some junk food to avoid in Colossians. All right. So let's go to Colossians chapter 3, and I got to land this ship. All right. So let's go to Colossians chapter 3, and let me teach you some good food to eat. All right. He says, but now this is Colossians chapter 3 and verse number and then we're gonna go back to tell you what junk food not to eat. He says, put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy. This is the food to eat. Kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. But let's just stop and do them all one at a time. All right. So put on therefore as the elect of God, beloved, bowels of mercy. What is bowels of mercy? Bowels of mercy. When you think about your bowels, you think about your gut. You think about what you really made of. And the Bible says, eat this, okay? Eat what? Eat bowels of mercy. In other words, what? Be willing to forgive somebody who don't even want to be forgiven. Be willing to forgive somebody who don't even see themselves as wrong. Be willing to show mercy on somebody before they even realize that they need the mercy. Back up off the idea of revenge. Back up off the idea of tit for tat. Just back up off that idea. Why? Because you are holy and beloved. And this is what God is feeding us. He's a master chef. Are you hearing me? He's like, look, I don't want you with high blood pressure. I don't want you sick. Okay. I don't want you behind the 8 ball. All right. I don't want you mean spirited. Okay. I don't want you slow and dumb. I want you to have a really large, abundant life, which means that you're going to have to be laser beam focused on everything that I'm giving you to be able to do. But you cannot do that unless you got bowels of mercy, because you're going to be too busy sizing up everything that's done happened to you, sizing up the way everybody's talking to you, sizing up the way everybody's treating you, and you're going to get amazingly distracted, and you're going to end up sitting up and start eating some junk food someplace. Why? Because you're having a pity party and you're sulking. All right. That's why Eve ended up in front of a tree trying to eat some junk food, because she was having a pity party and she was sulking. Are you hearing me? Because she did not eat what? She did not eat what God said, and he said to eat some bowels of mercy. Are you hearing me? Eve was merciless sitting up looking at that tree. You say, why was that? Because she had already made up in her mind that there is a conspiracy going on around here. And what? God think he better than we are, and he holding out. So what? So she's like, I'm gonna get some revenge. Okay, he not gonna do that to me. I hear I'm talking about. He's not going to treat me like that. He got something up his sleeve. He is nickel slick. And the devil said, what? Oh, okay, I see how you're thinking. All right. He said, you know, you ain't going to surely die, baby. God just know. God just know. God is what everything that you're accusing God of is true. He really is low down. He really is a snake. He is a snake telling somebody's a snake. Did you know what I'm talking about? A snake telling Eve that God is a snake. Can you believe that? You know you got to be eating some junk to be that delirious, to let a snake tell you that God is a snake. A literal snake tell you that God is a snake. But that's why, because her spirit was merciless. She had a merciless spirit. She was like, man, I ain't showing no mercy on God. God done like, look, have some mercy on me, okay? Trust me and trust my word. Eat. I'm going to give you so much that you can eat from until we're going to make that little tree over there become insignificant. Okay. I got to give you an option to go do something that I said not to do. Why? Because this is all about love, baby. All right. You say, what's love got to do with it? Everything. You say, why do God even allow us to even have a chance to eat some junk food? Because he wants to know if you're going to choose mercy or not. All right. Everybody put CM in the chat. Come on, choose mercy. All right. Choose mercy today. All right. I know you're going through some things. I know some stuff got you vexed. I know your spirit. I know you got to battle some things in your head. I know what some people have done you wrong, but just think about all the people you've done wrong to. Just think about all the times you done came up short. Just think about how how arrogant you've been. Just think about how inconsiderate you've been. Just think about those things. That's what I think about. When I start thinking about what people have done to me, I get to thinking about what thinking about. I've been pretty arrogant from time to time. You know, I've been judgmental sometimes, you know. I've been short-winded sometimes, you know. Sometimes I've been way off and where I thought something was, it wasn't even like that, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the rest of my days being what? Marinated in mercy. Right here I'm talking about? Come on, have some mercy now. I'm teaching you today how to eat God's food. God got good food. He's a great chef. And he says, put on, therefore, as the elect of God, bowels of mercy. Now you're saying, I can't do that, Brother Ricky, because I can't have nobody making no fool out of me. Oh, no, there you go eating them annihilators again. There you go eating them juju beans. There you go eating what them Hostess Twinkies. Are you hear what I'm talking about? That's not good food. That food is going to kill you. Are you listening to me? That food, if you eat from that tree, you are going to surely die. I don't care what the devil told you. But that's the devil telling you that you ain't going to die. You are going to die if you eat from that tree. Now you hear what I'm talking about? You got to be a merciful person in order to be a successful man and a successful woman and to have abundance in your life. You got to be a merciful person. You got to just let it go. Now you hear what I'm talking about? And let God have his way. Are you hearing me? You got to let God have his way. Just that's when I stop struggling, wondering. I forgot the words. Anyway, let's go back to the next verse. All right. So he said, um, put on as a beloved of God, bowels of mercy. And then he said kindness. Man, that's some good food to eat. Did you hear me? Bowels of mercy and kindness. That's some good food, y'all. That's some good food. You say, why is that food so good? Because it's not good enough to forgive people. You got to be nice to people too. You say, Brother Ricky, I forgive them, you know, but I don't ever want to have nothing else to do with them. Well, that's not kind. Okay. Being kind means that I'm not talking about you got to kick it with everybody you dig, who some people you got to let them go, they got to go ahead on about their business. But I'm talking about there's still a kindness in your spirit, though. It's not cold. Are you hearing me? It's not calculated. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? It's not like an assassin's bullet. We don't allow the grace of God and use it as a cloak of maliciousness. You see, that's the way the Pharisees were. The Pharisees were some mean dudes. I mean, they were some really mean people. I hear they so mean until they literally murdered Jesus. They had a mob's mentality. Hey, listen to me. I command you, woman of God, man of God, brother, sister. I command you up under the authority of Jesus Christ to enjoy your life. Are you hearing me? I'm talking today about abundant food, by an abundant chef. Stop eating that junk. That junk ain't doing nothing but giving you the bubble guts. Are you hearing me? And if you don't show some bowels of mercy with kindness, then it's not even mercy. You said, I showed mercy. I ain't kill him. You know, I should have cut him. That's what I should have did. I should have cut him. Told him next time they come up here, I'm going to cut him. All right. So I backed up off of them. So, you know, but they know next time. Well, problem with that is that you let it go, but that's not bowels of mercy. Bowels of mercy is the way Jesus Christ saved me and the way he saved you. That's bowels of mercy. You say, what do you mean by that? Because we was guilty. Are you hearing me? Every last one of us, because every last person on the face of the earth has sinned and come short of the glory of God. So that means what? The only way that we can possibly be saved is that God got to say, I'm just forgiving you, even though you're guilty. All right? Guilty and forgiven. All right? Everybody put G and F in the chat. G and F. Because you wouldn't need to be forgiven if you wasn't guilty. I would need to be forgiven if I wasn't guilty. Are you hearing me? So we guilty and forgiven. All right? What's the point of being forgiven? Unless you're guilty. All right? You guilty, brother. You guilty, sister. All right? You like guilty of what? You guilty of what? You guilty of sinning. All right? Maybe in the last few minutes. Okay? So the only reason you're forgiven is because of bowels of mercy. Not because you're such a good cat, not because you're such a good sister, not because you're such a good brother, not because you're such a good person and all that sort of thing. No, that ain't why. It's because of bowels of mercy and kindness. All right? You know what I'm talking about? His grace and mercy, it brought me through. And I'm living each moment because of you. And I want to thank you, Lord, and praise you too, Lord, for your grace and mercy. It brought me through. Say, I love God because he's kind. You know, he's kind. He don't just forgive you and then look at you with a mean stare. You know, like, I don't even know why I'm putting up with you. You know, I let you ride, you dig. I should have killed you. That ain't God. That's not how God behaves. Are you hearing me? But when you've been eating junk food, it'll make you extremely self-righteous. I mean, your butt cheeks are tightened up like like you don't know what. And when you forgive a person, it's surface forgiveness. All right. So everybody put NSF in the chat. No surface forgiveness. NFS. I'm sorry. No N surface forgiveness. NSF. That sounds like non-sufficient funds, don't it? No surface forgiveness. Come on, I'm trying to show you how to stop eating that junk. The reason that you're sick is because you're eating junk. And I'm telling you right now, that little fake forgiveness that you give people, that's some junk food. Are you hearing me? Let people go. I mean, totally let them go. All right? Or else you're going to be sick. Are you hearing me? You're not going to be able to function right. Ain't no abundance in that behavior. Are you listening to me? No ideas, no thoughts, no revelations, no nothing. All the good stuff that come with what? God's food. All right, so let's finish Colossians, what he told us to put on. All right, he says so. Yes, you can work in if you want to while I'm online if you want to come in. All right. Okay, he says, and have put on a new, I'm sorry, where we at? Okay, put on therefore as elect of God, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind. Humbleness of mind. Humbleness of mind. What are you talking about, Ricky? Look, you can't be kind to people unless you're willing to what? Take a punch. Are you hearing me? The Bible said that Moses was the meekest man to ever walk the face of the earth. You say, why is that? Because Moses was steady praying for the people who was trying to kill him. You think you have some of y'all think you having a hard time. You know, man, my business, these people ain't acting right. Man, in my house, these people ain't acting right. You're a pastor of a church or something. These people ain't acting right. Man, you ain't seen trouble like Moses had. Are you hearing me? Mo had so much trouble. They barely got out of Egypt. I mean, they barely got in the promised land. They talking about killing Mo. I got to ask you a question. When's the last time you got some death threats doing what you're doing? I just want to ask you a question. When's the last time you got some death threats doing what you're doing? Are you hearing me? When's the last time people was literally talking about killing you? All right. When was the last time people was lined up with a whole bunch of rocks ready to hit you in the head? I'm talking about Moses had to pray for folks. His own brother and his own sister stepped up to God, stepped up to him, talking about, you ain't the only person around here with no sense. God had called us too, just like he called you. His brother and his sisters, perpetrating frauds. These marks, you dig? They can't put cheese on a Whopper. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't got no juice, but they want to act like they got the juice. They want to just bogart Mo and just bogart him about the way and everything. After all, he helped them to make it through. No gratitude stuff. I know it's people around you like that right now. I know that. I know that. Why? If you're a leader, you're doing anything worthwhile, you got somebody in your camp right now think they better than you who ain't about nothing. I understand that. But you ain't the first person. But what I'm talking about is that the attitude to take is what? Eat this food that God is preparing for you right now, what he's feeding you right now. Take this attitude. Check them, let them know they out of order, and then pray for them. Okay? Check them, let them know they out of order, and then pray for them. Pray to God for them. Say, hey, Lord, I know they some idiots. I know they ain't got good sense. All right? I know they foul as the Oakland Coliseum, but Lord, don't kill them. Lord, don't forgive them, God. Have mercy on them, Lord. They'll come around. Lord, my prayer is that they come around. My prayer is not that you get them because they dogging me. I don't want you to get them. All right. I know they acting a fool, but I don't want you to hurt them. All right. I just, Lord, have mercy on them. All right. That's the way Moses was praying for Miriam, his sister. His sister talking crazy, disrespecting him like his little sister, little snotty nose sister. You dig what I'm saying? Just like y'all. Just like this is real life, you all. And in real life, you ain't no different from Moses. Your situation ain't no different from nobody else. You ain't the first person going through this. Are you hearing me? You can't run kingdoms and businesses and be kings and queens and don't have what? A sense of bowels of mercy and kindness. Are you hearing me? You still check folk and let them know what's going on, but you got to pray for them. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing what I'm talking about? It's going to help you so much. You're going to have such an abundant life. Your life gonna be so great. I hear me. You're gonna be able to get so much accomplished. So many great ideas gonna go through your head. Why? Because God gonna use you. He's gonna use you as a mighty, incredible vessel. But you gotta do what? You gotta stop playing. Gotta stay away from that junk food. Are you hearing me? That's why I don't listen to people. I don't let them talk to me. I ain't got a whole lot of friends and stuff. Why? Because most of it's junk food. Most people ain't even talking about nothing. So I don't even waste my time talking to them. All right, I got a few little friends and I keep it moving. All right. Humbleness of mind. That's why I wrote the book today. This is your chance to get it. This is your chance to get it. It is out. Humble aggression. Humble aggression. You say, what does it mean to be humble, Ricky? To be aggressive. You're like, huh? You say, what are you talking about? See, y'all been taught so bad. You ate so much junk food. You don't even know what the definition of humble is. All right. I got to help you all. You don't even know what the definition of humble is because you've been eating so much junk food. Humble people are incredibly aggressive. Are you hearing me? You say, what do you mean by that, Brother Ricky? We are incredibly aggressive about doing what's right. And you can't do what's right if you're going to do somebody wrong because they did you wrong. Are you hearing me? So we are aggressive in forgiving people, aggressive with it. We are aggressive in forgetting what happened to us. Why? Because the Bible says that love, it don't keep no record. Are you hearing me? Now, I know you haven't been taught that way. And I know you think that that makes a fool out of you. I know you feel, I understand how you feel. That's the way you feel. But that's because you've been eating junk food. Are you hearing me? When you eat junk food, man, everything hurts your feelings. When you've been eating junk food, you are hell bound on what? Getting even. That's what's wrong with Eve. Eve is over here eating junk food before she ate the junk food. You say, what are you talking about? In her head, she's mad at God. In her head, she's upset. In her head, she feels betrayed. In her head, she feels violated. You know how you get when you feel violated. You know how you behave when you feel violated. You get mean as hell when you get violated. Somebody head gonna roll when you feel violated. When you feel like somebody is doing something to you, and they think they done got away with something, you are plotting in your head, I'm gonna get them back when you feel violated. But what if you eating the right kind of food then and not eating that junk food, then what used to offend you and make you feel violated won't even have no effect on you no more. That's why God told him to go eat from every tree that's in the garden. Why? Because he knew when he placed that little puny tree in the middle of the garden that he told him don't mess with. He said, if y'all go eat, if you do what I told you to do, that won't be so alluring to you. All right, because you'll be so stuffed from all this good food. It's hard to eat junk when you've been eating properly. It don't have the same taste to it no more. It make you sick. Are you hearing me? It's hard to wolf down a whole bunch of Doritos and stuff like that when you've been diligent and disciplined eating salmon and the right type of vegetables and eating some fruit and drinking a lot of water and working out and doing all the things that give you an amazing body, that give you an amazing brain. It's hard to break them things once you start doing it because you don't want to go back to feeling all nasty and grimy, all the stuff you feel when your body all full of junk. Are you hearing me? I stopped by here this morning to talk to you for a few minutes. I want to see you all live the best life available to a human being. I'm preaching to myself too. All right. I got a lot of challenges. I'm trying to stop eating a lot of this junk and stuff I like. I like sweets and all that kind of stuff. Physically, I'm trying to stop doing that. But mentally and emotionally, I live at a very high level. God has blessed me to live at a very high level mentally and emotionally. And so I can help you all with that. Why? Because I'm a very forgiving man. I don't hold grudges against people. I don't I don't let people get it. I don't let people ruin my life like that. I don't allow that. Why? That's why I got so many ideas. That's why I can teach y'all. That's why I'm happy every time I see you smiling and cheesing and stuff. It ain't like what? I ain't getting dogged just like you. It ain't like what? It ain't like I ain't going through the same thing you going through. Ain't no difference between me and you. We all human beings. Are you hear what I'm talking about? I just eat this word so much. When I get up in the morning, I'm telling you, I'm just brushing my teeth, just washing my face. And I'm like, God, who in sundry times and divers manner spake in time past to the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world, to be in the brightness of his glory, an express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a much more excellent name than they. Under which the angels saith he at any time, sit down on my right hand, and shall make thine enemies thy footstool. So I'm just sitting here quoting out, the first 12 chapters of Hebrews, morning after morning after morning, just washing up, just brushing my teeth and just washing up. Why? Because I got to eat. I'm like, I got to eat. I'm about to start dealing with people. I'm about to start dealing with human beings. All right. And my attitude ain't gonna be right. My spirit ain't gonna be right. If I don't eat, I gotta eat. And I gotta feed. I gotta feed my kids. I gotta feed my family. I gotta feed the folks that surround me. I can't be feeding them junk. Why? Because these words that's coming out of my mouth, they got to eat these words. And I have to put them in a position to be able to win because one day one of us ain't gonna be around here. And when one of us ain't around here, somebody gonna be speaking from the grave. Did you hear what I said? Everybody put SPG. Speak from the grave. S F T G. SFTG. Speak from the grave. One day, you, my brother, you, my sister, one day, we're gonna be speaking from the grave. We ain't gonna be here. We're not. My mother is speaking from the grave. All right. She passed away 3 years ago. But my mother taught me so much. She taught me so much. She spoke so much life into my life. She fed me so much from God's table. Are you hearing me? And until what? Here I am today, and I just wake up, and when her words ring in my ears, I feel so much power. Are you hearing me? My mother, what? She taught me how to be a forgiving man. She taught me how to be a kind man. She taught me how to love people. I hear I'm talking about. She taught me how to be generous. My mother taught me how to be generous. Her mother taught her. I hear I'm talking about. My grandmother used to take people walking by down south in Bessemer, Alabama, bring men, strangers in her house, and wash their clothes and feed them while she was washing their clothes and put my granddaddy's overalls on them. And what, just to make sure that person can go on with the rest of their day and have a decent day. That's powerful. That's powerful. That stuff, what? That stuff is seeped into my spirit 2 generations down. And what? And so when I see people, I got to help them. Got to help them. Got to help. Battery low. When I see people, I got to help them. And well, I should say when I see people, I get the privilege. Hold on a second. When I see people, hopefully that's working. When I see people, I get the privilege of helping them, I should say, because helping people is a privilege, not a chore. But it's from what you eat. See, if you eat in generosity, then you just are generous. It's not hard to do because that's what you eat. So I know I can't act no different from what I eat. I know that. So I'm encouraging you all today to pay attention to your diet. Are you listening to me? And I'm telling you that God is an amazing chef. Just don't eat that petty stuff from the devil. All right, let me finish these. Let me finish these up. I got 10 minutes. All right, so he says some more stuff to eat right here. Humbleness of mind, meekness, and then what? Long suffering. You say so. See, this is part that people don't like to hear about, being saved, about loving God. You cannot, you cannot eat at God's table and don't eat and not be willing to suffer. You gotta be, we all gotta be willing to suffer. We just cannot have a lot of the stuff that we want. Why? Because a lot of the stuff that we want is junk food. So you're not going to eat a healthy meal and stay away from junk food and don't suffer. Why? Because there's some suffering involved. Jesus said, Paul said, I may know God in the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. Ain't nobody around here who know God who's not suffering. So why you act so strange because you're suffering? Uh, that's just part of the territory, but it's part of the abundant life. An abundant life, part of it is long suffering. You say, how long should I suffer? As long as God tells us to. We don't put no. It's an individual thing. You say suffer about what? What you talking about, brother Ricky? Whatever we suffering about. Everybody who resists in sin is suffering. Why? Because we all just innately want to do wrong. So, but I know I'm suffering a lot. I know, man. Please, all the people I want to pimp slap, all the hoes I want to pimp. Man, please, I suffer every day. Why? I come from a house of pimps and hoes. I hear what I'm talking about. I come from a crazy crib. I ain't talking about a dysfunctional joint. I hear what I'm talking about. And I see a little cutie pie. She be talking a little slick. I'm like, girl, please, I have a job for you. And then God, like, boy, you thinking crazy, Ricky. All right, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, you can't G for that. Back up off that, bruh. Now keep it moving, okay? But you gotta. That's suffering right there. Why? Because that ain't what everything you doing ain't because you such a good person, such a good holy roller. That ain't it. You just suffering because you're not doing the stuff that you want to do. Because what? Because you know the end of it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it for you. It ain't worth it for all the people that's involved with you. So you don't eat that food. Are you hearing me? You got to put on bowels of mercy, some humility, some meekness, and some long suffering. Are you hearing me? And and listen to me. You are strong. You are not weak. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you're suffering right now. That don't mean you weak. That means you're strong. All right, everybody put strong suffering and put SS in that chat. I just thought about to tell you because it's the devil telling you that. Say you little weakling, man. If you was a real man, if you was a real woman, you'd be doing this, you'd be doing that. And the devil try to make you think you weak. Why? Because that's his job. He's always doing what? Trying to sell you some junk food. So he makes you think you weak. You're not weak because you're suffering. You strong because you're suffering. It's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. Are you hearing me? Why? Because it's necessary. It ain't no such thing as being tight and cool with God. It ain't suffering. What? Jesus Christ suffered. But what? The more he suffered, the closer he got to God. Jesus Christ didn't get no pass down here. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? When Jesus came, the Bible says what? That he had to suffer for and take on the weight of the whole world on his shoulders in order what to stay cool with his father. And I gotta stay cool with my father. So that's why I don't mess with the skeezers and stuff. Why? Because what? It ain't because I'm such a nice guy. It's what? I'm staying cool with my father, so I'm willing to suffer. Why? And that's why I eat the food. You see, I don't know about you, but I have to get up in the morning quoting scriptures while I'm getting dressed and stuff like that, because I got a crazy pimped out mind. And I will be, man, pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac doors. You know what I'm talking about? I'd be out in these streets doing some stuff I ain't got no business doing. Are you hearing me? That's why I eat. And I'm telling y'all to eat. You're not going to win. You're not going to win eating that junk food. It's no way in the world you're going to win because you're not that good. You're not that nice. You're not that kind. You don't have that kind of resolve. You ain't that square. Are you hearing me? The only way this stuff is going to work is because of what you eating. And then what? Because you eating, you strong. And because you're strong, when everything that's coming at you, you can what? You stronger than it. Are you hearing me? But it's based on how you eat. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I know people don't like to hear it and all that. I'm like, yeah, well, you might as well go someplace. Just go to hell in a Cadillac. You dig what I'm saying? Just don't be no fake dude. Don't be no fake sister. Don't be no fake brother. If you're gonna go to hell in a Cadillac, all right? Get your roll out, okay? Be all the way scandalous. If you're gonna be a gangster, be a total gangster. Because if you're gonna be over here, you're gonna have to be square. You dig what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna have to suffer what people do to you, and you ain't doing nothing back. And you're gonna have to suffer what you want, and because you can't have everything that you want. Everything that you want that's petty. But you can have everything that you want that's abundant. All right. So what happens? So you suffer, not tricking off, and then you wake up and you start walking down the street and you got so much money until you just passing out hundreds like that. All right. Why? Because you passed up the whole, so now you can pass up the hundreds. You pass out the hundreds. Did you hear what I said? I said you passed up the whole. Now you can pass up the hundreds. You can pass out the hundreds. Why? Because you got your money ain't funny. Your change ain't strange. Are you hearing me? You got a bank that can choke a horse. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? Why? Because of that, what you eating. Are you hearing me? I eat from God's table. So what? I got God's money. I got God's money. I got God's joy. You know what? It's like sticking God up. Are you hearing me? I'm like, hey, Lord, if I do all this square stuff, what's in it for me? He's like everything that's attached to what? All that kind of obedience. I'm like, so like what? He's like, oh, plenty of that. He said, he said, what? I own all the paper, player. What you talking about? Let me look. Let me show y'all this. What's going on with this account today? Let's see here. Here's this don't make no doggone sense. Count up $40,000 in one day. This my one of my crypto accounts. Up $40,000 in one day. This account was like $700,000, what, a month ago? $1,134,000 now. $1,134,000. I've been telling all y'all about crypto and how y'all should do it. And I don't make no money off y'all. I'll just be telling y'all what we're doing because I just want y'all to make some money. I told y'all a year ago to buy some XRP. So here's XRP right now. It was 50 cents. And here it is right now. Right now, it just changed to $3.65. What is that? 50 cents times six. It's 7 times worth more than what it was in September of what, of last year? Was it less than a year? I think it was last year when I told y'all I was starting to buy that. 7 times more. You got a house. Your house got $100,000 worth of equity in it. You just sitting there looking at it, just being disobedient because you ain't listening, calling me coach. I'm like, I ain't your coach, and you got $100,000 worth of useless equity in a house. Could have put that money in XRP. It has $700,000 right now from just off $100,000 without doing no work. Are you hearing me? But your mind ain't right. See, your mind ain't right because you're not eating right. See, if you was eating right, when somebody comes by and give you some food, you could eat it. But when you ain't eating right and you eating that junk, when I tell you about stuff and I prophesy into your life and tell you what's getting ready to happen, and this ain't nothing, because this will easily be worth $20. Easily. It's only worth $3 or something right now. Just XRP by itself would be worth $20 easily in the next man. Man, I gotta go, y'all. Dang, is it 11 o'clock already? Oh, it's 11:02. Hey, man, I got to ride. I love y'all. I can't even teach y'all the second half of this lesson. Y'all want put part 2 in the chat if y'all want me to teach y'all part 2 when I come back. Y'all want part 2 of how to eat abundantly? Because I didn't even get to part 2. Put part 2 in the chat if y'all want it. Because I got to go. I'm late for a meeting already. Do y'all hear? Y'all got to tell me quick, though, if y'all want it before I teach it live again. All right. I can't come back until Wednesday morning. But if y'all want to put part 2 in the chat, hurry up. Put part 2. Do y'all want it? Y'all want part 2? Y'all want part 2? Put in the chat, Terry, you want it? If 10 of y'all want it, I'll teach it again. Because I don't teach stuff unless y'all want it. All right. Okay. All right. Let me get over here to this class because I'm already 2 minutes late. One more time. The book is out. All right. If you want to know how to really get, like super aggressive and God be with you, and you ain't just doing some stuff that he ain't down with, then just put humble in the chat. Real quick, humble. Just put humble in the chat. Real quick, and the book is out. You can get the link to Humble Aggression. All right. Put humble in the chat real quick. Humble. The word humble. Quick. The word humble. Quick. Humble. If you want the book, humble. Put humble in the chat. Just put humble. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. I got to ride. All right. All right. 30 more seconds. Just put the word humble if you want it. All right. The book is here. I'm happy to say it's here. It's my 4th book. All right. Humble and aggressive. I'm show y'all how to have an incredible life. Dominate. You know what I'm talking about? All right. I got to ride. I love you all. Be blessed in the city. Be blessed in the field. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about that. And remember, that stellar is a stellar does. Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock a.m. I'm going to teach y'all part 2 of how to have an aggressive appetite. Okay. Love you all. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a phenomenal day.